As an anime fan for almost 5 years, I've been watching and rating a lot of anime. I have watched the best of the best anime and also the worst, the most trashy anime you could ever imagine. At that time in the anime world, I had always wondered what is exactly the best way to review anime. But now, after rewatching some anime and comparing them with each other, I can confirm that I have found it. The best way to taste your anime. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is statute. So this video is divided into 3 parts. The first part is to answer the question why are everyone's taste in anime are so different. The next part is about my own ways of review anime, and at the end is what you have clicked the video for. The best way to review anime for everyone, so make sure to watch all the way to the end. And without any further ado, let's begin. Why are everybody's taste are so different? You see, anime or any kind of movie or art related are so subjective. Some people might say this anime is great, and some people can also say the same anime is trash. There are 3 reasons for that. Firstly, your taste defines who you are, where you live, and the things you have experienced. There are now more than 8 billion people on Earth, but none single one of us is exactly the same. The ways of thinking, the way you've been raised and all the relationships having really changed the way you see the world, especially in anime. Anime is a cool place because it can really satisfy lots of people with different genres, characters, story. So really it just depends on your liking. Speaking about liking, let's go to the second point. Your taste is also affected by your natural instinct. When we were born, we also have a natural and unique personality. It varies a lot, especially in the anime world. Some of you might like soft rom-com. Some of you might like shonen fighting anime. Some might enjoy dark psychological like myself. The variety of tastes is the thing that makes us special and unique as an anime fan. Finally, about the final point, your taste will change over time. Have you ever watched an amazing anime? The best anime you considered when you was young, and now you watch it again and the magic is no longer exist. Sound familiar, right? That because when you watch a lot of anime, as the time goes by, your taste may improve and your perspective changes. You may think it like puberty but to your taste. But I know, some of you might still like some animes even when you have grown in your taste and I'm no exception. The anime I still like to this day is Yu-Gi-Oh! This anime is special to me because when I rewatch it, it makes a nostalgic feeling and throws me back to the day I went to school and watched it on TV. It reminds me of those good memories. So really your taste might change and lots of your so-called, the best, anime will be forgotten, but if there is only one of them sticks, please treasure it because it may have become your childhood. In conclusion, everyone's taste is very different in our own unique ways and no taste is right or wrong. Alright, so my ultimate way of tasting anime. I will divide it into 3 main pillars. All anime no matter what genre or studio makes it, I will always describe it with these 3 pillars. I call them 3 whats. They are what I see, what I hear, and what I feel. When I talk about what I see, it literally means what my eyes saw, basically the art in the anime. When judging art in anime, I see people say mainly about 2 things. The beauty of the art and the smoothness of it. Like all the cartoons in the world, anime is an animation, not a live-action movie. So to judge this, we need to know what really is the animation. Wikipedia said, animation is a filmmaking technique by which still images are manipulated to create moving images. So really it's just a lot of photos stacking to each other and they're making them move so fast that it tricks our mind into thinking that it's moving. So the key point here is that the art or the animation is only made with 2 parts. The photos, which is the beauty of the art and how they are stacking up, which is the smoothness of the animation. But for me personally, this way of tasting anime is very good but not enough. There is another aspect of it to be covered, which is a great anime visually wide is the one that flows with the 2 other whats. It doesn't have to be the most fancy, beautiful art. Some anime doesn't have the best art but still overall be a really good anime, especially old animes. Let's say like the series Fate but with the first ever season. The art of that season is quite bad but still, it flows really well with the 2 others whats and it's a premise for a really good franchise now, including the Heavens Feel Root, which is a 10 for me in my anime list page and if you don't know, I only have 8 animes which I consider a 10 which is the masterpiece for me. The last factor of judging art in anime. This factor is not the most important like the third factor I've just taught you but it is not something worth skipping either. Yes, it's the studio that makes that anime. When you talk about art or animation, they can't but talk about the studio and their style of art. You see, unlike the two whats I will talk about later, the what I see pillar depends 100% on the studio, so if that studio do well, the animation will be great. True with the opposite. I will not talk deeply about studios in this video because it's been too long, but if you want me to do a deep video about it, let me know in the comment section below. Also, while you are there, make sure to like and subscribe for more anime tasting video like this one. In conclusion, the best way to taste animation in anime is divided into 4 parts. The photos, the transition, the flow, and don't forget the studio. And now for the second what I hear. The first and foremost thing when talking about the hearing part of the anime is the voice acting. This is the main factor that makes the characters alive, which makes you think the characters existed, not just cartoon characters on TV. This factor also relied 100% on the voice actors or seiyuu in Japanese. They are the ones who put the souls and tears into the characters they voiced. This makes the character not just a character but a normal human being who has a life, and we believe that that character really exists in this world. So for me, the best voice actor is the one who can make voices of variable types of characters with different personalities. For example, my favorite seiyuu is Rai Takahashi. It's really amazing how she can express the voice of a lot of difficult characters and still deliver excellent roles all the time. Like the character Tomo in Tomo-chan is the girl to a completely different persona of Emilia in Re:Zero. The second thing that makes an anime a great hearing aspect is the OST or original soundtrack, which plays in the background of the anime. It's not as important as the voice acting but still needed to make good moments in the anime. This factor is also dependent on 100% in the studio, so it should fit the animation as well. Like I said before, good animation fits 2 other whats, and the OST is must-have because it makes a lot of scenes more intense, sad, and funny depending on the story the author wants to deliver. If the OST is bad, it will make the plot not as good as it is supposed to be and sometimes ruin the storyline. So it's not the thing we're really paying attention to but really important factor of the great anime. Finally, the last factor of the what I hear pillar is the opening and ending songs. I put this factor last because it didn't affect the storyline much or the character, but it made the anime more memorable to everyone. Like when you hear Tokyo Ghoul's opening, for example, it is such a memorable opening to this day. You just hear the first of the song and you will recognize it immediately and relate it to the anime. Also, it can attract a ton of new fans to watch that anime because when the opening or ending goes viral on social media, people who watch it will go to the anime and watch it. So really it's the way to marketing an anime. In conclusion, that is what I hear pillar, 3 things. The voice acting, the opening, the ending song, and the OST. And now we will come to the most important pillar in anime. This part is inseparable from the anime and the essence of the anime. The what I feel pillar. Have you ever wondered why we like watching anime and later enjoy every single thing about it, or more simply what makes us an anime fan? Do you ever ask yourself that question? I am not talking about the waifu, otaku stuff, or Japanese culture in general. That is all the thing that makes us watch anime in the first place. The thing I want to know is the thing that makes us stay and continue being an anime fan. Besides the 2 whats I said before, the last thing that makes us enjoy watching anime is the plot or storyline in the anime. This factor is 100% dependent on the author who makes that anime, and this is the spine of the anime. Without this, anime is just a bunch of pictures moving with sound. But sometimes, the studio cannot deliver the best version of the one the author wants to deliver. That is because the studio didn't want the anime to be too long, so they cut some scenes in the original light novel of that anime. For example, Jobless Reincarnation is the most brilliant light novel that I've ever watched, but the studio cut some scenes in the anime. I would not say the anime is bad, it's still a good adaptation from Studio Bind, but not as great as the light novel. That shows how important the author is to the storyline. So what does the plot consist of? In my experience, there are 4 parts. First of all, world building. This is the one I call the slow burner. For the first and second episodes, you won't feel it right away. The more we consume, the more we will feel the greatness of world building. Basically, it's how big the world is in fantasy, sci-fi anime, or how real the world is in rom-com, slice of life anime. In fantasy or sci-fi anime, the bigger the world is the better because it gives the author more room to put all the pieces together. For instance, that time I got reincarnated as a slime is an anime with great world building. In this anime, the world is so big with a variety of species, like elves, demons, humans, and dragons. And with every species, there is their own kingdom with different rules and a system of hierarchy. The main mission of the main character, Rimuru Tempest, is to make all species live happily together. Really makes the world building more intentional from the author. The second thing I want to talk about is the characters. Every story has characters, and all the plots are built around them. In this aspect, we need to analyze two things: the character building and the relationship between them. The character building basically means their backstories and their screen time in the anime. Based on this, we can differentiate the main character and the NPC ones. The more time the character appears in the anime, the more familiar we will get with that character, and in the long run, we will have a loved, hated feeling for them. And that is exactly what makes great character building. The best character is not just the one we love the most but also the one we hate most, which shows how great are they with their villain role. For example, in Demon Slayer, besides the main character, Tanjiro is a typical character for a protagonist, hero type of role. In contrast to it, on the other side, there is Muzan, a true villain, antagonist role. The more people hate Muzan, the more people will love Tanjiro, and this makes the story more exciting and makes people keep watching. But sometimes, the role will change, and it makes terrific plot twists, which I will talk about later. Eren in Attack on Titan, Sakura in Fate Stay Night, Homura in Madoka Magica, Kaneki Ken in Tokyo Ghoul are some of the best examples of this kind of character development. And in the development of all characters, we can't forget about the relation of the characters with each other, because it plays a big part in their building personality also. Talking about relationships among characters can be difficult because of how complicated relationships are, so I will talk about my own preferences from my experience in watching anime. The first thing to know is that relationships depend on the genre of the anime. Different genres have a lot of different ways the characters contact each other. For example, in rom-com anime, there is a famous triangle love relationship or childhood friend, love from first sight, etc. The second thing to know is how the story is built and how it affects the character. The plot can make relationships break or be born whenever the author wants it to be. This can make the story more interesting and eye-catching. As you see, these two things are very wide and complicated, so if I explain too deep in it, it will make this video too long. But if you want me to talk about these topics, I might consider doing it. And finally, the most outstanding part of what I feel, pillar. The one that makes you get out of your chair, drop your jaw, and admire how talented the author is. Yes, none other than the last factor, the plot twist. If you've ever watched any kind of movies that don't need to be anime, you must have probably heard this word. For me, the plot twist is like a magic trick that the author has been pulling on us. When you come to a magic show, the magic that the magician is performing that makes us surprised in my eyes is just some kind of misdirection. They make us think one way and show us the opposite way. And anime's authors are the same. But one small difference is that they misdirected us for a very long time. For example, in Attack on Titan, there is a plot twist in Season 3, and in my personal opinion, this is the greatest anime plot twist of all time. Not just because of how sudden and mesmerizing that scene was, but also how it was built to this stage. The amount of detail and perfection the author put into fool us all is incredibly admirable. This is the first time when I have rewatched an anime, the feeling is completely different than the first time watching just because of one singer episode in Season 3. That I consider the real magic. But this magic is like a diamond, so precious and priceless, and also so rare as well. There are not many anime that have a good plot twist, nor have any plot twist to begin with. In my anime list, my top anime all have this quality, and all these anime are still so good when I rewatch it a lot of time. Basically, the plot twist is like a cherry on top. It's the thing that turns a good anime into a masterpiece. In conclusion, when judging an anime, the what I feel pillar is the most important of all, and it contains the world building, the character building, and the relationship between them. And don't forget the magic, the plot twist. And now for the big answers we've been waiting for. What is the best anime taste? And the answer is... there isn't. Oh right, let me explain. Like I said in the first part. In conclusion, Everyone's taste is very different in our own unique ways, and no taste is right or wrong. By answering the question of why everybody's tastes are so different, I also spoil a little bit about the best way to taste anime. When researching for this video, I have tried really hard to find the one and only best way to taste an anime, but it's impossible. The complexity of the variety of anime and our perspective on that anime are huge. No way there is an exact formula for everyone when judging anime. At the end of the day, it's come to your preference after all. Also, because of how your taste in anime is so unique from everyone else and the same as other people's views, suddenly there are a lot of unique tastes on the table, and these unique tastes meet each other and conflict with each other, which form opinions, and opinions form debate. And finally, debate form the wonderful anime community that we have today. So honestly, don't be shy to share your thoughts about an anime that you really like. Your thoughts and opinions are contributing to making the anime community more great and a fun place for us to enjoy our hobby together. And when you do that, our taste will be much better, and maybe one day not so far in the future, we might be able to get closer to achieving the best taste in anime. So thank you so much for watching till this point. If you do not agree with anything I said, feel free to comment in the comment section below, and also while you're there, please share your very own way of tasting anime. I would love to read it all. And finally, with all of that being said, my name is Bestikill, keep watching anime, and I'll see you in the next video.